Anyway, I'm guessing I'm live now. I'm not sure. But, uh, but, but, uh, let's get into things. Let's get you a bit closer here. Let's see less of my squalor. There we go. That's better. Hi. Yes, I am your host, the archivist, Greg, yet again. Sorry, I just ate. So, yes. I know. Go live and we'll have people and chats and stuff. That would be fun, wouldn't it? That would be super fun. All messages are visible. Such as potential spam may be visible. Okay, that's cool. Oh, for crying out loud. There we go. So if anyone chats, I'll be able to see it. Yay! Let's see if we actually get somebody this time. I think last time I did this was two people. So you're probably wondering, what is this I'm wearing? It is a industrial-ish jacket. It's a jacket my dad got me. It has the bands on it, and you can see here highly reflective stuff. So if you're at night time delivering, as I do on the weekends, and sometimes during the weekdays, my days would go longer still into the night time, which is still around 5 or 6, as you can see from the window right around now. So this is perfect for not getting hit by vehicles, which, whew, it's getting crazy out there. It is just crazy. I mean, every time I see a wall that may be made of wood or brick or mud or whatever, if there's a wall nearby, apparently at a 90-degree turn, there is a freaking hole in it the size of a Buick. So it's like, what the hell's going on? People can't just make turns like they used to. Jesus. It's insane. Every time I go see a fence somewhere on a turn, there's a hole in it, you know? Or someone smashes into a building. And I see people just running these red lights, you know? It's like that orange light is somehow, you know, like the Pirates Code, where it was a suggestion, not a rule. You know, we advise you to, you know, to slow down. Not that you should slow down. You know, it's like, that's not how this works. Not at all. Not at all. So, yeah. Uh, people, right? These people, it's like, I gotta make it. And it's like, oh, come on. Really? Really? You put your life and the life of other people at risk because you just gotta make it. You know, and it's like, I hear on the sign of caution here, people. Just slow down and stop. It's okay. You know, it's all right. But, you know, some people are just, I don't know what the hell. Apparently, they're in a rush. That's the only thing I think of. They're in a rush. For what? I don't know. What they're trying to get to in such a damn hurry at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. So, yeah, so the jacket, something my dad got me. He said he got one for himself, and he wanted me to have this one. So it was all like in plastic and all that. That's still in my car. I keep plastic. You never know when stuff's gonna come in handy. Trust me, I got rid of stuff. I got rid of a lot of stuff that would come in handy years later. It's like, well, that would have come in handy if I kept it, but people kept telling me to get rid of it. And I got rid of it, so now it's like, I need it. Like, oh well. You know, so that's why I hang on to things, so I could use them and watch them later. Anyway, like this thing. This is a pouch with something written on it. Blank. What is this? Yeah. It says blank on it. Yeah. It says blank. Including this thing for almost like a year or two or something like that. I think I got it at one of the conventions or something. I forget where I got it. It was a tote bag, possibly from one of the conventions. I've been using it to take my laundry in. So when I go to laundry, I just carry this in. My laundry is not very big. It's only a week's worth. I don't use the giant pile in the corner on a daily or weekly or monthly basis. That just sits there. Because I don't really need it, because the jeans I wear are the jeans I wear. The shirts, are the shirts that I wear weekly. I change them out daily, but they're the ones I wear per week. I just cycle through them, and the socks is what I wear. The socks. We also have a bit of a water problem. Minor damage or whatever, some leakage. So when I go out in the hall, my socks get all squishy, and it's just very unpleasant in the morning when you're like, okay, gotta go to the bathroom. Oh, god dang it. But it'll be taken care of shortly. I'm assured. I'm not a carpenter. I don't know how long these things take. But it's very, very unpleasant. If everyone has ever had wet socks, experienced wet socks, you understand where I'm coming from on that. So my life is okay. I'm growing out this giant bum beard, to help keep my head warm. People have seen me out there like, who's this bum, and why is he delivering me my packages or package? And it's like, well, I just help keep my head warm. Because then if I shave it, then it gets cold, and then I get sick, and it's just a thing. So it's just let the temperature warm up, and then shave it all, not down like you've seen, but kind of we're going to try something different this time. But yeah, so that's the plan, and still nobody. But yeah, I really should fill this out. Yeah, fill that out. That was here from last night. That hasn't been here for months and weeks on end. It's just been sitting there since last night. The backlog of VHS tapes stuff down here is all, what do we got here? What do we have here? Oh, look at that! We have Old Comfort Farm. Recorded over. What do I have on this? I don't know. But we'll find out. After which we have Making of Caddyshack over Silver Chair. Alright, that's that Narnia crap. Anyway, yes, moving on. We have this Richard Pratt. Look at all the other stuff. Where's the newer stuff? Here, let me grab the newer stuff. Hold on. Newer, more interesting stuff. Where's the box sets? There we go. Here's the good stuff. Bruce Lee as the Kung Fu Master. Collection 5 series pack. Kung Fu Mania. Ooh. Here we go. Yeah, check that out. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. We got, from left to right, we got Bruce the Superhero. Bruce Kung Fu Mania. Bruce Takes the Dragon. Bruce the Man and the Myth. Bruce the Invincible. Yeah, interesting. Well, let's check these out, shall we? I haven't watched these. I've been meaning to get into these things and convert them. Watch them while I convert them. Bruce the Superhero. Bruce Lee. What's it? There's only one E here. Weird. It's supposed to be Bruce Lee, L-E-E. But whatever. Okay, Bruce Lee with one E. Bruce Takes the Dragon. The heir to the throne of the late Bruce Lee with two E's. Not only stars in, but also produced and directed this martial arts extravaganza. I actually used that term. That was a thing used back then. Was extravaganza. About a map leading to $1 billion in hidden gold. Yeah, we all wish that, kid. We all wish that. The map is concealed in the hilt of a samurai sword. Of course, where the hell else would it be? Which Susan Chang protects with her own fighting skill. Who? Well, Sarandon, and that would have made a bit more sense, but whatever. But when she is murdered by 5 members of the Double Lightning, comma, Bruce investigates his sister's death. No relation, apparently. With her dying breath, Susan asks that a key be given to Bruce, which brings him back to Manila to take on the Double Lightning, comma, as well as the Black Dragon Society. Now, see, that's where you get it right. See, the Black Dragon Society is a full title, as opposed to just Double Lightning. Double Lightning what? It needs an extra descriptor there. An Italian godfather and a Japanese bull killer. Approximately 90 minutes. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's a Good Times production. 90 minutes. Huh. Strange. Nothing here says if it's dubbed or not. Duplicated package printed in the U.S. Package design. And Good Times on Video Corp. Doesn't say anywhere if it's dubbed or not. Which is weird. It looks like Good Times, and it should be dubbed entertainingly bad, I've noticed. Good Times is also the same people that did the Roger Corman thing. Yeah, the Roger Corman, Galaxy Express, 999. Like I said, badly, but somewhat entertainingly. So, let's see what we have here. It's, Bruce Lee, 2 E's. Kung Fu Mania. With action highlights from more than 30 of the greatest martial artists' movies. This kung fu fighting, karate kicking competition compilation features the real Bruce Lee, 2 E's, and his many clones, plus Chuck Norris, Jim Kelly, and more. Here's Bruce backing up the Green Hornet as Kato, battling Norris in Return of the Dragon, and making his last complete film, Enter the Dragon, plus the secrets of his mysterious death. Secrets, really? I heard of the brain aneurysm. Secrets of his mysterious death in Bruce Lee. Double period. His last days. You'll also see Lao La Challenge, Lee, 2 E's, Van Cliff in The Stranger and the Gunfighter, Bruce Lee, L-I, carrying on the tradition with the 3 Avengers, and Taekwondo Grandmaster Jahan Ree in the Tattooed Dragon. Compiled by Sandy Oliver, a Film Shows Inc. or Incorporated production exclusively for Good Times Home Video. Approximately 85 minutes. Duplicated package, blah blah blah. So I'm guessing this is also dubbed or originally dubbed or something like that. Okay, let's see what we got here. What else we got here is next up we have Bruce Takes still nobody. Bruce Takes the Dragon. Bruce Lee, 1E, cleans up corruption with flying fists in his variation of the Dirty Dozen, a dramatic martial arts exhibition in which, the heir to the throne of the late Bruce Lee, 2Es, displays all his spectacular talents. When Chang Ching arrives at the town of Ching Fong to take his place as sheriff, his task of cleaning up the mass corruption is a big one. And for this mission, he selects 7 prisoners from the local jail, before they can succeed as a team. He must teach them lessons in humanity and cooperation, and only then will Chang Chi and his own Magnificent Seven be prepared to give evil the deadly strike. Approximately 85 minutes. Right. Next, Bruce Lee, the Invincible. After turning against friends and his kung fu teacher, Chung Lee, with an I, Kong is banished to Malaysia, but instead of reforming, Chang sets up a casino to steal wagons back from the miners who work for him. When he also kidnaps the local store owner's daughter and beats her after she refuses his advances. Why are we rooting for this guy? Only those familiar with the invincible techniques of Bruce Lee, 2Es, can stop Chang's evil use of Kung Fu. They must battle the menacing Malaysian bullwhip expert and a berserk gorilla in furious non-stop action that reveals the Shaolin Grandmaster's deadly dragon hand snake. Sorry, these are both in parentheses. Sorry. Dragon hand, parentheses, dragon hand, parentheses, snake, parentheses, and, parentheses, tiger, parentheses, techniques. Approximately 90 minutes. Alright, and lastly, I bought this thing for like $10, so. Bruce Lee, the Man and the Myth. Bruce Lee exploded on the screen with his beautiful display of the savage grace of the martial arts. Bruce Lee, 2Es, this time and last time. The Man and the Myth is a film biography of the master of Kung Fu from his early life in Hong Kong to his international superstardom in films such as Enter the Dragon and The Chinese Connection, with Bruce Lee in the title role. That's Li. The Man and the Myth has its own sen- sensationally choreographed martial arts fighting sequences, making it a must for all martial arts fan films. Sorry, film fans. Sorry, approximately 90 minutes. So yeah, those are the films I would like to watch and um, archive in the near future. Of course, I think I'm probably going to be needing a new VCR by then. I can't really go over 2 hour mark. Don't know why. It's just getting old. But yeah, there's that, and then there's here's something. The Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, The Challenge. Remember these two? Michelle Tanner? Filmed in Mexico. Wow, with the money these two had, you think they would be able to not do that? Like, well, it's filmed in Mexico. It's like, really? Don't these kids have like millions of dollars between them from their royalties on Full House? Oh, by the way, they were never on Fuller House. Why? I don't know. Maybe they didn't feel like reprising their roles. Even though after the show ended, they went on to be in a couple of movies. One, a Halloween special, one Halloween film, a movie, New York Minute, and I remember a bunch of these things. There were it was like a mini series or something like that. It was like 6 episodes or something like that. This one is Rival Sisters, Challenge of a Lifetime, and Let the Games Begin. I have a couple of these here, I think, or just this one. Yeah, Doll Star Video. It's made in Mexico, and it's a Doll Star or Dual DUAL Star Video, or maybe it's Dual Star. I don't know. Tapestry, distributed by Warner Brothers. So whatever. Teen superstars Mary Kate and Ashley take sibling rivalry to a whole new level in their latest movie, The Challenge. Playing estranged sisters who are totally opposites. Ambitious, uptight Lizzie, Ashley Olsen, and laid-back tree hugger Shane, I guess. Mary Kate Olsen. Mary Kate Olsen. Have to learn to live and work together as a team on a popular TV reality adventure show. A challenge. A college scholarship is the prize at stake. Will the show's producers use sibling rivalry as a ratings tactic? Oh, trust me, television has done way worse. And it wasn't just Fox. Trust me on that. Will this bring the girls closer or push them apart forever? Shot in a scenic Mexican resort in Cabo San Lucas. Cabo San Lucas. This lighthearted comedy / adventure is the final entry in the Mary Kate and Ashley successful series of video and DVD movies before they continue their big screen careers in 2004. So I'm guessing Hollywood Minute comes after this. Today You Die with Steven Seagal. Yes. Why? Waltons. There's some Waltons. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Some other stuff here, but I don't want to get into that. Anyway. Get these shoes off. I'm trying to just relax. It's just like, oh, I'm tired. Dang it, I'm tired. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, there we go. Ooh, that one sailed. All right, and still nobody. Ugh, crying out loud. What does a guy gotta do to have a fandom, have a following? Somebody give a shit. This dang thing off. My head looks small in this jacket. Oh, anyway. Oh. Whew. See this beard. Look at this. Look at this. This beard. I still have the Mr. Potato Head. My pride and joy. Mr. Potato Head doll. I'm keeping this. Let's see. I'm showing you this little lockbox thing. I bought these separately. This Maxell thing, I'm guessing is to keep tapes in, I guess. I'm not sure. But it has like a rubber seal and padding on the inside. So it's water and impact resistant. And I bought the locks separately. The smallest locks they had, or I could find. So I just put that on there. So this whole thing is like, I don't know, like $10 altogether. There's nothing in it other than foam. I don't have anything really specific or rare enough to actually put in it or something. I don't know what to put in it yet. But it's nice to have this just in case. So you know you have it where it's well protected. Kickboxer. I remember Kickboxer from the late '80s. I remember watching that as a kid. I remember watching a lot of movies. I remember Kickboxer. Here's an interesting movie. I don't think any of you really know too much about. It was a little bit explained to me later. Now, back in the day, in the 70s, if you want to believe it, there was a film franchise. Gasp! A film franchise? You mean people made more than one movie and had sequels? Yes. It wasn't just Star Wars back in the day. There was other film franchises back in the 70s. One of those was called Death Wish, modeled after the novel, much like many other novels like Die Hard and everything else. This novel series had a couple of books, which first was called Death Wish, which then inspired the movie Death Wish, and then its subsequent sequels based on that film. Now, unbeknownst to a lot of people, especially me, was that the original novel, also had a sequel called Death Sentence. Much, 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 much later. I mean, way later. That story got a movie inspiration called Death Sentence. Now, the first book was about Paul Kersey becoming a vigilante. Death Sentence, the sequel novel, was about Paul being kind of more addicted to the concept. People from then on have kind of explored that concept in Netflix's Punisher. So it's explaining that. But this is where the novel became the movie, Death Sentence, starring Kevin Bacon. Rather well, might I add. But changes a few things. You don't recognize this guy as having a past being the first film, Paul Kersey. So this is a different character who goes by the name Nick Hume. Yeah, so this is Nick. And Nick's thing is that he's an ordinary family man, upper crust society, middle upper crust or whatever. And one day at a gas station, it was getting robbed, and for kicks or whatever, the robber shot the kid, his son. And thus, vengeance ensues. Uh, so, uh, people die, people get shot, etc., etc. I'll leave it up to you. But one scene, I believe I talked about this before. This one scene in this film, which should get total credit of being so freaking awesome, is the cinematography of this scene, which is also in the making of part of the DVD. Let me explain. This is technical here. Brace yourselves. Now, the robbers gang figures out through random events that Nick is the guy they're after, who killed one of their associates as revenge for killing his son. So this is like way in the middle. So Nick is suddenly realizing, I'm being surrounded by gangsters. Smacks one around with his briefcase and goes running on like literally a 10-minute sprint across town. Now, being pursued by these gangsters. So after running through, down the street shooting guns, down an alley shooting guns, and then through buildings not shooting guns, he finally comes to a parking structure. Now, what is so different about this parking structure, you may ask? The cinematography. So, the camera, which like this, is mounted to a handheld thing. Have you ever seen people do the handheld things? It's a square with grips on it, so you can grip at it from wherever way you want, right? Now, what they do is that they ride along on a doom buggy, next to the guy, get up close, pull back away, and as they go to the ledge, there's a guy on a boom lift thing. He hands it off to him, crouches down. The guy takes the thing as the lead character, Nick, runs down into the next thing. So we see him go around the corner, and then the camera goes up, like that, onto the next level. And then another guy on the other side of the ledge pops up next to him, grabs the camera as the guy comes running back this way towards the camera, gets up, stops, goes, ha, 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 ha. The guy goes around the actor, goes back out to the edge, hands it off to the boom mic guy, to the boom, lift guy, hands it off again, crouches down, and the character takes off again. They do that a good couple of times to kind of show that, goes around him, goes back, up, goes back around him, up, until they get to the top. When they get to the top, then they have this whole thing with, fighting and a car goes over the edge with one of the guys in it. Again, great shot. It was all done in like a morning or whatever, because they only had the thing for one day. So they said, we got to get this kind of in one take. And pretty much they did. They had to rehearse the hell out of it for like an hour. And I'm guessing Kevin Bacon got his cardio in for the year on that take, because it was just like, it was running his ass off. So anyway, the whole thing is fantastic. How they're the planet, it was just intense. Super complex, because you got to be out of some things. People and doom buggies that were carrying the camera had to be out of shot, by a certain time. When the camera arrives, it's just woo. But anyway, so yes. So death sentence is you can kind of see similar tactics. So this guy goes, all vigilante on these criminals. So you can see it has similar veins, movie-wise, not saying novel-wise, movie-wise to Death Wish, which came out in the 70s. So it's a good companion piece to that. So you can see, where this thing is like a sort of distant half cousin or whatever to the original Death Wish series. So I highly recommend It's not the bestest endings, just letting you know. It's one of those kind of more, well, they're all dead. Now what? I think he bleeds out, I think. Or maybe he goes to jail. I don't know. It kind of just ends. So it's like, Few Good Men. Michael Jackson, number ones. Yeah, that's all his music videos. They're all really good. Taken, Argento's Dracula, The Goonies, Big Lebowski. To Wang Fu, Thanks for Everything. I remember that trailer from the 90s. Kept trying to understand what the hell that title even means. It's a bit long. Before Night Falls, Dracula, French Kiss, George A. Romero's Land of the Dead, The Walking Dead, Broken Trail. Yeah, that's a good one. Eight-Legged Freaks. Here we go. Here's a good one. Yes. Yes. In Search of Tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Yes. In Search of Tomorrow is a 5 hour. Actually, it's three. It's a 3 hour. I don't know. Why did they say 5? It's 3 hours. It totally is. It's 3 hours. It's not 5 hours. 3 hours. I'll time it again. I swear to God, it's 3 hours, not 5. It said that on the digital download, 5 hours. It's like, no, it's not. Maybe the fact that they have, digital color in this thing, as opposed to digital chrome, has to do with everything else. Maybe that's why it takes up the volume and says it's 5 hours. I don't know, but it's not 5 hours. Trust me. Love letter to the 80s, cinema, a nostalgic exploration of the impact and relevance of those beloved film classics, guided by the iconic artists who made them and by those who were inspired by the futuristic visions. This super doc means documentary. Are they pinged by the word? Takes views on a year-by-year deep dive into the awe-inspiring film worlds of 80s sci-fi with large context chapters. They're rather pretty short. They're like 5 minutes. Discussion topics placed between each year from 1980 to 1989, breaking down the most popular and eccentric sci-fi titles of the 1980s. Theatrical and video store releases. In Search of Tomorrow examines compelling insider tales of the creative process, the resonating themes of those imaginative stories, the technology behind the fiction and their futuristic forecasts, the bold marketing of these films, and the political and Cold War climates that impacted our entertainment. Search of Tomorrow features stunning entertainment and a coordinates for more than 70 exclusive interviews, comprised of legendary actors, directors, producers, writers, visual and special effects masters, composers, production craftspersons, film critics, and authors, alongside notable experts, including a futurist, a clinical psychiatrist, and a astrophysicist. A rousing celebration of 80s genre filmmaking at its zenith. In Search of Tomorrow taps into that childlike wonder that we all felt watching these movies. while deconstruct, just deconstructing and recontextualizing their impact for today's audiences. Special features: a discussion with the creators of The Search of Tomorrow. It's on Blu-ray. I paid like $70 for this, I believe, or whatever it was. It was one of the higher tiers, so that you can get the full effect. I have the poster and stuff here somewhere in my giant pile. But yeah, I got that. And oh, I got a lot of stuff, and I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I'm a sleepy little owl. Ugh. Oh, The Englishman. All right, all right, all right. I'm gonna talk about this one. All right, I'm gonna talk about this one because this is awesome. It's featuring Hugh Grant in The Englishman Who Went Up a Hill and Came Down a Mountain. Two thumbs up, Siskel and Ebert says. Yeah, they would. Alright, so this is a romantic comedy drama. Yes. By someone named Steve. I don't know who that is. But yeah. It's about the Queen's I don't know how you call it, experts, mountain experts, and they would, oh hi, hello, one watcher, how are you? Hopefully you're entertained. Yeah, so this expert, played by Hugh Grant, goes to, well, let me just read the back. A comedy favorite, Hugh Grant, Notting Hill, stars as a young man who offers an entire town, who offends an entire town by declaring their mountain a prized local landmark to be a hill, but he soon finds the eccentric locals, led by a witty innkeeper, uh, Colum, Colum Manny, Star Trek, The Next Generation. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, he's talking about O'Brien. Just so you know, yeah, that guy, the engineer guy, yeah, the teleporter guy, yeah. Anyway, so O'Brien, and actually, he gets a lot of laughs in this. Just so you know, he really, you know, parallels Hugh Grant here in being the lead in this film. Like the priest asks, like, "Where's your shame?" And it's like, "Oh, my shame. Oh, what could it be? I know I had it here a minute ago." Anyway, will stop at nothing to defend their honor. Well, the townspeople rally around their mountain. A fiery young woman, Tara Fritz Gerdold, Brast off, that's the movie, charms the puzzled out of towner into seeing things their way. You'll be elevated by laughter as the hilarious townspeople rise to the occasion, and the bewildered visitors stumble into love when he least expects. Okay, it's not really saying very much. All right, basically what this movie's about is a small town, really small town of like 100 people or whatever, believed for a good long time that their mountain was legally classified as a mountain. But the British people say we need to measure this shit, says, let's go and send these two mountain professionals down there and measure these things. So that's what you're supposed to do. It's on the map. It's like, well, is that a hill or is that a mountain? Okay, well, here's the threshold. If it's above this certain number of feet, then it's a mountain. If it's below that, then it's a hill. So when they go back and tell the map people, mountain, 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 hill, 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 there. You know? So when they get there, they say, okay, we're here to, by Your Majesty, we're here to count how high this hill is to see if it's a mountain or a hill. So people kept insisting, well, it's a mountain, right? I mean, it's huge, so it has to be a mountain. So they do their measuring thing. I don't know how that works out, but they measure it. They says, "Sorry, you're off by 20 feet." They're like, "Really?" "Yes. So you on the map are going to be said to be a hill. Thank you and have a good day." So they're about to leave, and they're like, "No, no, we gotta keep up here. Gotta keep up here." No. Goes, "What do we need? We just need 20 feet. Look, we are in. They say that we're downtrodden by war. Most of the men are gone. All we're left are the young and the elderly." And it's like, why don't we have a victory? Why don't we just get just this one victory? So stall, just keep stalling. Here's a lady friend. That there's no trains, even though you hear one in the background. The car is busted. So, and all the while the people are gathering up dirt, taking it up the hill, and placing it on this pole that has marked off, how many feet there are, and it's actually pretty good. I mean, I like it. The story's never dumb. The story's never really stupid. It's comical because it's fanciful because like this town's going out of its way to make sure its hill is actually considered measured to be a mountain. You know, so it's that sense of town pride, and all the officials, the innkeeper, the priest, are trying to uh, work, try to work together to make this thing work. You know, and it all feels all logical, much like Waking Ned Devine, where it's a small town drama, but it really is captivating because it's all done by Hugh Grant. It's all and O'Brien, and whoever she is. What was her name again? Uh, Tara Fitzgerald. Anyway, she's okay too. So again, it's a good it's a good film. It's a good feel film. You'll like it. It's good stuff for everybody. A good date film. A good date film. I like it. Good date film on that one. And let's see here. Hercules. Love me my good Hercules. Legends. Yeah, I gotta put that back. But yeah, Albert Hitchcock films. I doubt anyone here's a Hitchcock film. I think anyone's gonna want to see that, right? One viewer? Anything? I rigged it up for comments to appear. Can anyone? Come on. If anyone wants me to read a Hitchcock DVD case, now's the time. Cough, cough. Anyone? Anyone? All right, I'll just do it. All right. Argento's Dracula. Bad CG effects, but a decent Dracula film. Kind of peeled off on the back of those hot that day. But this side looks relatively unscathed. I should tape this thing shut. But 10 movies. You can see. Young and the Innocent, Blackmail, Juno and the Paycock, Cock, Rich and Strange, The Ring, Lodger, Secret Agent, The Lady Vanishes, The Man Who Knew Too Much, and Sabotage. Yes, yeah. Let's see here. Usually remastered. A film actress, young and the innocent. The film actress is murdered by her estranged husband, who is jealous of all her young boyfriends. The next day, writer Robert Tisdale, who happens to be one such boyfriend, discovers her body on the beach. Robert is arrested, and owing to a mix-up at the courthouse, of course, he escapes and goes on the run with the police constable's daughter, Erica, determined to prove his innocence. Bonus short: The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Isn't that Disney? Moving on. Blackmail. Not rated. Mild violence. While having dinner in a fancy English night spot with her husband to be Scotland Yard Detective Frank Weber, John Langdon, Alice White begins to flirt with an artist, Cyril Richard, seated at the next table. The artist invites her up to see his studio, and she goes but balks when the artist asks her to pose in the nude. When the request becomes a demand, Alice stabs him to death. Period. Approximately 86 minutes. Black and white. Mm-hmm. Alright, that's that one. Juno and the Paycock. Paycook? I forgot. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Not rated. Mild violence. Actress Sarah Allgood, a brilliant as family matriarch Juno Boyle, who must contend with her bibulous bragadic Colo. I have no idea what that is. Husband, Captain Jack Boyle. Another Captain Jack. Edward Champman, known as the Paycock. Whatever that is. Because he always struts around like he owns the world. As Captain, well, that's what all these Captain Jacks do. As Captain Jack carouses with his drinking buddy Joxer Daly, maybe the ancestor of Joxer the Mighty. Sydney Morgan. Juno tries to keep her family together, a task that proves harder with each passing day, especially when daughter Mary, Kathleen O'Regan, becomes pregnant by her irresponsible boyfriend. Approximately 89 minutes, black and white. Rich and Strange. Not rated. Mild violence. Oh, we got two now. John Barry and Henry Kendall play a young married couple who suddenly come into an inheritance. Bored with their working class existence, hero and heroine embark upon a world cruise, and it isn't long before Barry gets romantically involved with a landed gentry gentleman. Broke and miserable, Barry and Kendall head home on a shabby cargo boat, only to find themselves in the middle of a shipwreck. The couple is rescued by a Chinese junk, that means just boat, basically, where the solemn crew members dine on their pet cat. Because what else were Chinese going to do? It's back in the day. People were horrifically racist about that stuff. well, one, it's a small animal you can eat. We just don't do that here. That's the thing. And back then, people were, well, again, really racist. So, the concept of calling a Chinaman, my little yellow friend. Oh yeah, that's just totally acceptable back in the day. Trust me. Pink Panther, anyone? So trust me when I say this was not frowned upon at all back then. You could just do all this stuff. It's like, yeah, that's fine. Be as racist as you want. It's fine. Anyway, The Ring, not rated, mild violence. Carl Bryson plays round one, a young boxer who matriculates from sideshow brutes to the big time. I think they mean migrates, but whatever. Round one's marriage to Lillian Hal Davis goes sour when she throws him over for the champ. During the climactic big fight, Hal Davis realizes that she'll still love him with round one when she witnesses the brutal beating he's getting. Approximately 82 minutes, black and white. Ledger, not rated, mild violence. British matinee idol Oliver Novello plays Jonathan Drew, a quiet, secretive young man who rents a room in London, in a London boarding house. Drew's arrival coincides with the reign of terror orchestrated by Jack the Ripper. Okay. As the film progresses, circumstantial evidence begins to mount, pointing to Drew as the diabolical Ripper. Approximately 91 minutes, black and white. Secret Agent, not rated, mild violence. Set during World War I, which is all the rage now, by the way. John Gayland plays British novelist Edgar Brody, who discovers that a government agency has faked his own death. I bet you was the last one to know about that one. He is given a new identity as Richard Ashinden, and travels with secret agent Elsa Carrington, Madeline Carrell, who poses as his wife. He then joins professional killer and general killer. He then joins professional killer, the General, Peter Lorre, to look for clues that lead them to suspect the tourist caper Percy Marmont. It also keeps Caper's wife, Florence Cahan, preoccupied while Richard and the General attempt to complete their mission in a climbing trip in the Alps. After realizing they are after the wrong man, the spies reluctantly start another search for clues that lead them to the American charmer, Robert Young. The situation is complicated with an air attack where several key players meet their fate. Approximately 88 minutes, black and white. Well, it's definitely a unique story. The Lady Vanishes, not rated, mild violence. Young Iris Henderson, Margaret Lockwood, heads home on a train after spending the holidays in the Balkans. Iris befriends a kindly old lady, Miss Foy, Fory, uh, Dame Witty. After Iris gets hit in the head with a flower pot meant for Miss Fory, while riding on the train and recovering from the blow, Iris falls asleep. When she awakens, she finds Miss Foy has vanished, replaced by someone else in Miss Foy's clothing. Eventually, Iris finds a young musician, Gilbert Redmond, Michael Redgrave, who believes her bizarre story, and the two search the train for clues to Miss Foy's disappearance. Approximately 89 minutes, black and white. By the way, there was a plain version of this type of thing where a mother and a child get on a plane, and then like halfway through it, the mom falls asleep and wakes up, and like her kid, who's supposed to be sitting there next to her, is gone, and I was like, "Where's my kid?" What kid? And everyone's like, there was a kid here. We mysteriously couldn't remember one child. It's like, really, really, like no one remembers this kid whatsoever. I don't know why she was hidden, but she was hidden in the storage compartment underneath the plane. I don't know why. It would just seem like the weirdest ass thing to kidnap a child for weird reasons on a plane. I forget what it was, but I remember stories like that. Anyways, last one here. The Man Who Knew Too Much, which is the original basis for The Man Who Knew Too Little with Bill Murray. One of the last good ones with him, actually, sadly. While vacationing in Switzerland with their daughter, Bob Lawrence, Basil Banks, and his wife, Jill, Edelyn Best, befriend jovial Frenchman and secret agent Louis Benford, Perry Fensney. Bernard is shot, and before expiring, he whispers with his last words a secret revealing an assassination plot. Sinister foreign terrorists overhear the exchange. They kidnap the daughter as blackmail and escape to London. The Lawrences desperately attempt to rescue their child and prevent the assassination. The film's now famous set pieces include the siege of Sydney Street, recreation and climactic clash of symbols at Albert Hall, followed by the crucial scream of Eden Best. In this film, German film star Peter Lorre made his English-speaking debut, though he was still monolingual in 1934 and had to learn his lines phonetically. Approximately 87 minutes, black and white. Bonus short, Kenny Vess. Lastly, Sabotage, not rated, mild violence. Mr. Verlick, Oscar Home, is a London movie theater owner who maintains a secret life as a paid saboteur. Okay. His wife, Salvalva Sedney, and her young brother, Stevie Desmond Tester, are clueless to Verlo's double life. Scotland Yard assigns a undercover agent, Ted Spencer John Lodger, to pose as a grocer next door to investigate. Verloc receives orders to put a bomb on the metro. He sends Stevie to deliver the time bomb. Certain the boy will be safely away by the time the bomb explodes. How much you bet he doesn't? And approximately 76 minutes, black and white. So yeah, those are the Hitchcock films. I want to watch them, but I want to watch these. I've been putting these off when I buy them. I've been putting these things off because I want to watch these with people, just by myself, because I can watch stuff by myself all the time. It's nothing new. But watch with other people is rather nice. Like I want to watch the Neverending Story, even in Blu-ray, with other people. I want to, get someone else's opinion on these things. What have they ever seen it? What did they think when they were a kid? All that fun stuff. I'm totally gonna shave this off later when I get the chance. But yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like currently what's going on right now. Uh, letting you all know, and and chats I believe is active. So if you want to do chats, put chats down. But yes, this fall I'm going to try and push for to do the Park Sentai trilogy, not trilogy, but like 6-part miniseries together. I'm gonna try and push for that. I'm gonna use this camera and hopefully get something going because I would like to get that done sometime this lifetime. So I'm gonna try and hire Ken, my friend. I'm gonna save up money and write during the summer, and then in the fall, and when it gets all cloudy again, we're going in the cloudy days, and we'll just shoot for a weekend. We'll just do stuff, just boom, 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 boom. Yes, this could literally be shot all on a weekend. It's not really that long or complex, really. So, yeah. What else was there? Anything else I'm forgetting? Anything good? A lot of stuff in here, but yeah, I've been saving my tips pretty much. So be tip money is what I use. Uh Trying to survive. I work Sundays again. That's nice. Oh, and I've met the second Karen at our store. Apparently, uh, it was a guy a couple months back, and now it was a lady. I delivered pizzas on the weekend to a pizza chain that shall remain nameless. Uh, I walk in, and this lady's just like, "No, your service is terrible. Don't eat here. Your service is terrible," and all this stuff. And she just goes on this 10-minute rant, and it's just like, "Lady, it's we have your pizza here, but I don't want a 2-hour-old pizza." And I saw the address on it, and I'm like, "That's literally just right down the street. That is not that far." After the first hour, if she couldn't call here mysteriously for whatever reason, and we couldn't call her for whatever mysterious reason, she could have just come down here and gotten it after the first hour. So why she wait 2 hours? I don't know. But she wasn't gonna let that go. Oh God in heaven. Luckily, one of my coworkers was filming that at the time. I left my phone in the car, so yeah. So I went into the back because what else was I gonna do? Everyone else was standing there watching. So I went in the back, did some dishes, and all of a sudden I hear this big loud crash, and I'm like, "What the heck's going on?" And the lady's like, going out the door, and everyone else is pretty much following her. And apparently, I thought she had broken something. I picked up one of the registers or something. I don't know what the heck was going on, but she just grabbed one of the change jars and threw it. Thankfully, one of my coworkers was not doing very well because she doesn't understand certain things. I've noticed a lot when people live on the street, they think and act differently than people who do literally anything else in their lives because acting on the street is different than having a job. These are two different things. When you're out on the street, you can act every way you want. That's it's the jungle. When you're at a business, your job, you gotta be an adult. You gotta be professional. You gotta hold it together, despite how you feel. And I've noticed a lot in the youngsters that they really don't know what that means to be proper, in any regard. They just keep acting like, well, I just do whatever. Because no one gets in their face and tells them to shut the fuck up and back the fuck off. So, these kids nowadays just say and do whatever the hell they want because no one's there to actually stop them. Because heaven forbid anyone actually says no to them to any real regard. Yeesh. So they don't have manners. They don't have temperaments. They just go, man. Stuff happens. That's why, it's like, I'm never going to work for a kid. I don't want to work for a kid. I don't want to work for a kid. But then I end up working for a kid. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Well, he was standing right there and we needed somebody, so why not? He's 18. He doesn't know what this means. Well, we needed somebody. There's 20 billion people on this planet. I'm pretty sure you can find one adult to fill this role. Whatever. So, this world keeps getting crazier and crazier. I swear. So, the kid, shall remain nameless, my co-worker, not the manager, the co-worker at the time, last week, is flipping the hell out. Just a full on, that whole thing. And it's like, kids, settle down. Okay, she's gone. It's like, calm down. Oh my God, Jesus. It's like dealing with my sister. It's like, what the hell? But that is not how you're supposed to work, supposed to act when you're, here. You're here to work. You're here to be a professional. You're here to be an adult. And I can understand, not really condone, but I can understand the fact when you're on the street and you're young, that being the bigger Karen is an idea that seems plausible. Now, as you grow up and become an adult and have friends, family, and loved ones, and a job, these people aren't going to want to associate themselves with someone who acts like that. Who's going to be this big child for 2 minutes because they feel inclined to, And it is not a pretty sight. It's not. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to distance myself from that. That is not, no, that's just not how this should be. You'd be upset, sure, but not that upset. It really looks like it's like, what's wrong with you? Like, what is your temperament here? Because it's like you were fine a minute ago. Now all of a sudden you're like, just and it's like, I don't understand this. I thought it was just my sister, but now apparently there's an entire subculture of people who are willing to lose their shit over nothing, and it's like, ugh. If I was with somebody like that, I wouldn't want to associate them. Like, either we need to talk or this is over. Even if they're just friends, it's like, no, I'm not. No. Luckily, I don't have friends who act like that. So, yeah, because the psychological bipolarism, being the bigger Karen as a self-defense device, it's a survival tactic on the street, might be acceptable when you're young, but when you grow up, that's just shit's not gonna fly with anybody. No one is gonna want that in their camp. No job, loved ones, family, friends. No one's gonna want that. Because what if it goes after them? What if you flip out and come after me? It's like, well, I'm not gonna want that. No one's gonna want that. But everyone keeps thinking that that's okay to be the bigger Karen. It's like, no, you cannot do that. You just can't. You just can't. And it's frightening. I bet there's more out there. I bet there's so many more out there. People raised, not raised. Let's say they're not raised to know to not do that. To not to throw a hissy fit and freak out over an insult or disrespect or anything, And I see that, I'm like, oh God, mm, just. It's not what us as a society should be. We shouldn't be this. We should be a bit more proper, a little bit. Some respect, some regard, some control. You see these people lose all control, and it's like, what? It's very disheartening to see that in society, that people think it's okay to act that way. You know, it's like, yeah, I was five once too when I grew up. You know, it's it just ain't right. It just ain't right. You know, and you know, giving a kid a chance to lead you, sure, fine, but not when you're shackled to them. So if they fail, we all fail. It shouldn't be that way either. So working with children is very, very much not something I really like. Or for children, it's something else I really don't like. Because it really shows their inexperience. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to handle a situation. And they're high on themselves, on their own power. I'm drunk on my own power. Whoa. Good. They know something. Like, yes, again. No, you don't know anything. You haven't done this before. You don't know what that means to be responsible, to lead, to give proper advice other than just saying because I said so. You know? And be wrong a lot of the time. So, but my other job's nice. I work, I just drive, and I just do other things, other deliveries. So it's just something to look out for in this new society, in the new world we find ourselves in. Be careful out there. That you think, oh, this person's young and been experienced. It'd be fine. And then a situation comes along and it's like, oh, that ain't good. You know, and it leaves you in the lurch because it's like, wait, what do I do? I'm supposed to follow your lead, or I'm supposed to work with you. You know, where does that leave me? Because I know better, but this other person doesn't. And it's like, what do I do? It's not good all around. It's not good all around. That lady, she ordered online, which was her first mistake, because never order online. Those apps don't do jack. They only work like 60% of the time. I mean, seriously. I've been going at this job for 4 years, and trust me when I say that app does not do, you know, it doesn't work right. It just doesn't work right. So she orders it online, pays for it online. One of the drivers tried to deliver it, called them, didn't get through for whatever reason. So after the 2 hours, lady comes back demanding her rebate. It's like, we can't. You didn't pay us. You paid the system. We can't take it out of the system to give it to you. We can only redo the pizza order for you, but you didn't want another pizza or wait for another pizza or the 2-hour-old dry pizza that was sitting there when she was just right down the street. So whatever. So we put her on the we put her on the let's not deal with that person ever again list, which apparently we've spiked in apparently with prank callers and stuff. So we're like, oh great. So we have a prank caller who gives us bad, the wrong, not necessarily the wrong addresses, but addresses to places that are not do not have people to be delivered to per se, or stuff like that. So the things we do for money, right? The things we do for money. First thing that goes, your self-respect. I swear. You got self-respect? Oh, yeah, then we gotta take that away because, you're gonna be jerks about everything. And each new boss keeps thinking, their dynasty and reign will last, for the foreseeable future. It's like, no. No one's lasted longer than a year. few months at least, and less than a year at best. And everyone keeps thinking, my reign will be the longest reign, and this and that. Even actual adults thought that too. And it's like, no, no, no. I've been here 4 years, but no one's lasted a whole year. Mark, my original boss who hired me, he lasted over a year because, well, he's been there for 12 or whatever. So yeah, that made a bit more sense. But everybody after him hasn't lasted like a year. They lasted a few months, a few weeks, months at best, but never a year. Never a year. And it's been like two or three dozen people since then. You know, the last kid was a kid too, and he only lasted like what, 6? He was here from like August, September, something like that. He started to give. They gave him the reins for a while. He only stopped last month in February. Last time I remember seeing him. So, just letting you know my simple observations of what I see out there. Oh, what else is there? Donald Trump is in league with Elon Musk. Not much more than that. My list on Amazon and eBay have gone up a bit. I want to get some new titles. Definitely some good new titles. Some other anime that I've heard, or animated features that I've never heard of. Some independent animated features that are rather interesting. Aaron, something like that. ANONA, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. But it was about some Amazon warrior girl who learns how to be a warrior. That standard stuff of the, I gotta save, someone who was kidnapped. Not much else. I'm getting really tired, and I'm all out of steam. So I guess this is it. I guess 3 now. Hi, third. 3 viewers. Any suggestions? Topics? Anything you want to talk about in the background? Text about anything at all. Come on, I got this whole collection right here. Man, I have to go to the bathroom. Well, I guess if no one wants to comment on anything, to ask any questions about all this, nothing. Oh, one comment. Cool. What's a like? I got a like! Yay! So, yeah. Come on. Keep it going. I have to talk about Zalion, all the old news. Literally nothing else I could talk about. Sorry. Ewok Adventure, no. BoJack Horseman. Oh, bye 3. BoJack Horseman. I've been watching the series. It's actually quite insightful to see self-value and trying to get, reckon, value from other people. BoJack struggle with himself. All the things that he does. The life of a, Hollywood or Hollywood, TV and film star. Entertainment magnate. So it is really it is really insightful to see the rise and fall, and then to rise again and then fall, eat a hamburger and then rise again. Stardom of BoJack Horseman, and it's really insightful seeing him be his worst and best selves in different parts of the story, of him struggling to be a good person, struggling from not being a righteous asshole or sabotagee, or anything else. Um, you know, so it is really good to see that kind of storytelling. And it's rare. It's rare to have a story not be edge lordy, but to go right for the jugular. Think we're gonna tell this story and we're gonna do it, right after these messages. None of that. It goes straight for the jugular where it's like, no, we're gonna tell the hard truth. The behind the music or the laughs or whatever of Hollywood, and it's as odd as the concept is about anthropomorphized animals and humans sharing the same world. It is rather refreshing to see the story of this horseman who hates himself, um, but wants to be famous. But is going through all this stuff, and it's really good. I'm on the 5th season, I think now, and I'm also watching. Yeah, what was there? Billions again. Still just kind of bouncing back and forth between a couple seasons and episodes on Billions. What was that on Netflix I was watching? Daredevil again for the umpteenth time because it's just that good. Not really Jessica Jones. Kind of Defenders because it all ties in together there. What was I watching? Watching something else on Netflix on along with BoJack. It was. I'm blanking on it. What was it? Um, but multiple seasons. No, not Money Heist. Not even the Korean one. No. What was it? It was something. I was watching another show along with BoJack Horseman about something. I'm pretty sure I'll remember it as soon as I'm done here. And I was like, that's what it was. But yeah, I'm watching a few series on Netflix. Some things on Amazon. Um, Speaking of Amazon, I'm up to over 300 audiobooks on my portfolio on my app now, which I've taken off. Don't it will save space, but yeah, I'm over 300 now. Woo-wee. And still needing one every new week because it's like I do not like to be bored on my job because I do a lot of driving, so I have something playing in the background. So I'm re-listening to oh god um I forget what the main title of it is, but it's a space, not opera. It's a space story. I don't know if I told you about this, but there was it takes place in the far off future of whenever wherever thing where mankind has traveled amongst the stars throughout part of the galaxy. I'm guessing, in on ships, and so it's kind of Blade Runner ish. But anyway, it starts off with this little 4-year-old girl where she wakes up and is just feverish, and it's like, what's going on? Where's my mom? Gets up. What's wrong with me? I feel sick. Oh, why is she not waking up? Why is she not waking up? Oh God. Oh, that's fever. I'm burning up. Goes out into the snow outside because it's winter time and collapses in the snow. And it's like, am I dying? Ugh, I don't understand. I think they're dead. Oh, I'm sick. Oh. And it's like, what is that crawling up my leg? Is that a snake? In wintertime? In the snow. And then she passes out, comes to later, feels better, is taken in by the hospital. They take the snake after they realize that the snake is called a Crichton snake, and it's called a red-headed Crichton, and they take it away, and then she gets worse again. They're like, well, she was better with the snake. Bring it back. Bring it back. So they bring the snake back. They give it to her, and she's fine. I was like, that's weird. Apparently, the snake bites her, drinks her blood, and injects her with a tiny amount of the Crichton's poisonous venom that keeps the virus in the dormant state. So she has a symbiotic relationship with this Crichton. And she grows up, she goes through school with it. It doesn't attack anyone, it's a very lazy snake. It stays on her person. And as the story progresses through for audiobooks, um, I'm on the third one right now. It she becomes this brilliant, not Mary Sue. She becomes this brilliant, like NCIS, military police mystery solver person. To track down smugglers and pirates and all that. And has a bounty on her head currently now in the story for about 5 million galactic credits or whatever. And the snake is now going for 100,000 credits. Those things are rare, and they find out the poison can help subside the effects of the virus. But for whatever reason, Red, as the snake is called, is the only one that has chosen a partner. All the other snakes act like regular snakes. So it's like, is this snake sentient? It kind of acts like it understands you a little bit, and her going on adventures and firefights and ambushes, assassinations, and all the fun stuff. And she goes through a lot, so she doesn't go through this like unscathed, where it's like the bullets, everything just misses her barely. It's like, no, she actually gets hit. She actually almost dies several times throughout the course of the series. She gets shot, she gets stabbed, blasted a few times. She's separated from Red. She gets kidnapped like 3 different times over the course of the series, and she goes through a lot. She goes through a lot. So you're rooting for her by the end of this, or well, all along the way, pretty much. I'd say all along the way, you are rooting for this girl, and yeah, I forget what the main title is called, but smugglers, and then there's I forget what the rest of them were. Red Admiral was the last one. That's the 4th one. It's her growing up while being in the system of becoming a general and all that. So she's like the youngest general ever. She's like 24, where she meets like grad admiral or something like that. It's ridiculous because she's really damn good at her job, and people keep promoting her because she's doing a damn good job. Not to her insistence or anything. She's like, no, I don't want to be promoted again. I like it here. I have friends. So yeah, I mean it's really good. If you ever get a chance to go to audible.com and watch that, it's really, not watch it, listen to it. It's really good. I came across some post-apocalyptic stuff. Where a guy takes in 2 hot chicks, friends of his, to be his live-in girlfriends while he takes care of them during COVID. And then there's a solar flare, and now everything's dead. So now they have to leave society in order to live out in the woods, in order to live off the land at a cabin in the woods that has everything they need, and then pick up another 6 women along the way. Yeah, it's one of those type of stories. So, but I mean, it's good. It's not great, but it's okay. I was really hoping they would stay in the house and kind of, live through this, pandemic slash tragedy. But apparently they had to go off into the woods, so that kind of just killed it for me. Especially for the part where he just said he was going to take care of them at his place. He had money for them because they were about to be destitute because everyone was losing their job during COVID. So that would be a really interesting plot. Let's see what else. Level Up is interesting, not very well good. Underworld, which is basically the same thing, but in a labyrinth, basically. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's not great or anything. There's another level up with some English kid or some English man voicing an English kid in the audiobool. It gets a little silly when you hear these adult people start voicing the cast, you know, where I played the young little kid, and I played the sexy little girl too. Especially during the love scenes. Oh, that is all kinds of awkward. You're driving down the highway, and you have a 40-year-old man pretending to be two different characters during a love scene who are supposedly in their 20s. So many times I've heard that where it's like, oh, God in heaven. Like they couldn't splurge and get a girl to read the girl lines for the females in this book, really? But he did it so convincing for the lead girl, so clearly they kept him. That or they're just very cheap. Uh, so to do the narrator, the lead voice, the lead female, and then several other dozen surrounding characters, secondary and third characters. It's ridiculous. Some people can pull it off reasonably well for the first dozen, but then after that, it always kind of more bleeds together. Of like, wait, who's talking? It sounds like you know, two or three characters sound the same. Um, so that's that. Not much else. I mean, the the Quantum Decay series was pretty good. Quantum Entanglement series, sorry. Quantum Entanglement series pretty good. Quantum Decay I finished a while ago. It was actually really good. Um, the last book was a bit anticlimactic. He defeated the bad guy, but then there was like this whole like last three chapters where it's like I'm on my island paradise away from everybody while I fake my death, and then stuff happens. It's like okay, you're emotionally tying up the last couple of plot threads here. Okay, I get it, but it kind of is like okay, and a little bit more past that would have been fine. Then it just kind of more abruptly ends. Um, let's see what else. Oh, oh yeah, power of suggestion. Oh yeah, that was a thing. Oh god. All right, let me explain this. You know why I hold this in such low regard. It was written well, but quite frankly, the power suggestion was completely needless because two of the three girls that he gets with were basically 5 minutes away from being with him anyway. So what was the point of giving him superpowers of suggestion when two of the three girls were just like, yeah, over here, like, doesn't make any sense, you know. There was one story where the girls in this story too do come across the same concept that the girl in the other story did. It was more of a fan written thing, independent film. You could really tell from the writing. It's just like some 14-year-old wrote this. Where the lead character who is being mind controlled realizes, the guy just said kind of more stick with him, and doesn't do anything else. So she kind of loves the fact that he doesn't order her around or just to like, bow before me and call me king or whatever. It's like I'm going out for a soda. Do you want to come with? He treats her very respectfully, and so she kind of more falls in love with him on the basis of that he's a nice guy. You know, but that story kind of made a bit more sense because they were all the mean girls. So it kind of makes a bit more sense to get his power suggestion to kind of like, look over here, me, over here, this guy, as opposed to this where it's like, what was the point of that? I mean, everybody else in the story outside of the three girls, that made all the sense in the universe because, well, he used his power on them for specific reasons. This was more just narrative shorthand for 5 minutes sooner than it was already naturally going to be without the superpowers. So then, what was the point of it? And why three? I don't quite understand exactly because you have the video store girl who comes in every Friday. You have the Karen at school, pretty much, and then you have the best friendies, for the past, what was it, like 2 or 3 years or whatever, you know. So the head cheerleader girl, that I understand, but the other two just seem kind of needless, in story wise. Because what was the point of that? Again, a lot of this interpersonal, you know, story is just a lot of needless stuff until when he's with the girls, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But when he's outside of them and goes on to other parts of the story, then it all makes sense because his power actually comes into handy and use, because he kind of more needs it. Then when he gets back to the girls, he doesn't really need it anymore because they're already doting over him to begin with. So it just seems weirdly used to just have it. It just doesn't make much sense. It really doesn't. If you have a superpower, the point is to use it constantly throughout the course of the film. That's why this character needs the superpowers, like why you're giving him the superpower to begin with. What's a specific task or function, you know? And so it's just I don't know. If you knew understand the concept of the power suggestion, concept of power in storylines or powers in general, powers have a necessity, like watch Heroes. That was all powers and things and why and what and when, you know. So yeah, it just wanted to show you it's like good writing explains why a particular function or thing exists in the story. Bad writing is that the character was 5 minutes away from getting with the girls anyway, so there's no real point to having the powers. Like why? This doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. You know, it's like giving a character a car and then not going anywhere for 20 minutes. It's like, well, you gave him the car. Could he be driving it somewhere? It's the whole point of the car in the story. Well, yeah, but he's here now, so he doesn't need to drive. Again, it's like that. It's just bad writing. Well, bad story concept. Let's go with that. All right. Well, I should go to the bathroom because there was one thing this job, my weekday job, has taught me, is to go to the bathroom when you need to go to the bathroom. All right. Well, I hope this helps to some degree. Um, Again, like, comment, and subscribe down below if you like it. And yeah, things are gonna try. I'm gonna try and push hard for change this year. That I'll get some projects done. I will hopefully be able to hire Ken, maybe, or maybe I'll go to the college and hire some people there. I don't know. Point is, I'm gonna try and get some things done. Top of that list is get a girlfriend. All right. Until next time, fair, faithful viewer, stay frosty, and see you at the movies.